Can I be really honest with you for a second? I spent years carrying weight that was never mine to hold. My mum's disappointment, my friends' bad moods, my partner's insecurities, even strangers' opinions of me. And I kept thinking, if I just try harder, if I do more, if I fix it, maybe I'll finally feel light enough to breathe. But here's what changed everything for me. We can't fix what was never ours to carry. So today, we're putting it down together. Hey lovely, welcome to Becoming Her channel. I'm your host Jasmine, and this is where we talk about becoming the best version of yourself. Today we're talking about something I truly wish someone had told me earlier in life. The things we are not responsible for. The emotional weight we keep carrying without realizing it was never ours. Because let's be honest, we've been taught to carry so much. Our parents' expectations, other people's emotions, their anger and disappointment, their opinions of who we should be. And it gets so heavy that we forget we were never meant to carry all of this. So if you've been feeling drained, like you're trying to be everything for everyone and it's still not enough, this one's for you, babe. Let's talk. One of the biggest lessons I ever learned was this: we are not responsible for other people's feelings. And I know that can sound harsh at first, because we're taught to be kind, considerate, emotionally aware, and that matters. But there's a difference between being mindful of someone's feelings and taking responsibility for them. I used to read every text 10 times before sending it, every word, every emoji, thinking, if I say this perfectly, no one will be upset. But people still got upset. People still misunderstood me. Not because I wanted to hurt them, but because sometimes people are already hurting. And no matter how carefully you choose your words, if someone has decided to feel a certain way, they will. Here's the part no one tells us. When we take responsibility for someone else's emotions, we hand our peace over to them. If they're okay, we're okay. If they're struggling, we're struggling. Our emotional state becomes tied to theirs, and that's exhausting. I see this a lot with parents. We feel responsible for their happiness, for their pride, for whether they have a good day. And wanting to make our parents happy comes from love. But when we carry their emotions for them, we don't help them. We take away their ability to process their own feelings. We can be present, we can listen, we can support, but we don't need to carry what isn't ours. Their feelings are information about their inner world, not a problem we need to fix. The second thing we're not responsible for is how people perceive us. Honestly, this one used to break me. Because here's the truth, you can say everything right and still be misunderstood. You can be honest and still be doubted. You can explain yourself perfectly and still be judged. Why? Because people don't see us as we are. They see us through their own experiences, wounds, and beliefs. If someone forms an opinion of you based on gossip or assumptions, that tells you something important. They're not actually trying to know you, and you can't control that. Think about it. Someone who sees you once will have one perception. Someone who speaks to you for 5 minutes will have another. Someone who knows you for years will see something completely different. So how can you be responsible for something that's constantly changing? Some people will see your kindness as weakness. Others will see it as strength. Some will see your silence as confidence. Others will call it insecurity. If you spend your life managing perception, you'll never stop performing. I used to replay conversations in my head constantly, analyzing every word, every reaction, until I realized something freeing. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to analyze us the way we think they are. So let go. Be yourself. The right people will see you clearly. The third thing we're not responsible for is fixing other people's problems. And I say this as a former fixer. I thought fixing meant loving, that solving meant supporting. But when we fix everything for someone, we quietly tell them, I don't trust you to handle this. Most of the time, fixing isn't about them. It's about easing our discomfort with seeing them struggle. But struggle is where growth happens. There's a big difference between support and control. Support is listening, holding space, believing in someone's ability. Control is taking over, doing the work for them. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and trust them. We are also not responsible for living up to other people's expectations. No matter how hard we try, someone will always be disappointed, not because we're lacking, but because we're not mind readers. The closer we get to living up to their expectations, the further we drift from ourselves. We start ticking their boxes and forgetting our own. When you start living in alignment with your values, the right people will celebrate you, and the ones who truly love you will want you happy, not perfect. And finally, we are not responsible for how others choose to treat us. Their behavior isn't your fault. Their mood isn't your job to manage. People treat us based on what's happening inside them, not our worth. What you are responsible for is your boundaries, what you accept, what you walk away from. So if you've been carrying this weight, you can put it down now. You're not responsible for their insecurity, their expectations, their reactions, or their happiness. Your truth is enough. All right, lovely. If this helped you, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. See you in the next video.